Organic emergency food. Available now at shop.real.video.
Well, it really is extraordinary. Monsanto has been ordered by a San Francisco jury to pay $289 million to Dwayne Johnson, the first person in America, an African American, to take Roundup to trial. Glyphosate is what we're talking about here. And after a very long, drawn-out court battle that involved astonishing discovery of evidence that uncovered internal emails proving Monsanto engaging in collusion, in scientific cover-ups, in infiltration, oppression, criminality at so many levels, which I'll talk about here in a second. That all came out as part of this trial. And by the way, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was also on the legal team that helped to prosecute Monsanto for this, or bring this claim in civil court. It's not a criminal prosecution yet, although I believe it should be. So the conclusion, the jury came back and ruled that Monsanto should pay $289 million to a 46-year-old groundskeeper who, get this, he was hired to spray Monsanto on school grounds around school children. This was his job. And he did this reportedly 20 or 30 times a year for many years. And a couple of times he was completely doused with glyphosate, which the jury found caused his cancer. So just a second here. Let me get to the damages here. $250 million is punitive damages. So that's, punishing Monsanto for their collusion, their cover-ups, their suppression of science, all these evil things that Monsanto was engaged in as part of their decades-long cover-up, and the mass poisoning of humanity, which I'll also talk about here in a second. So $250 million is punitive damages, and then $33 million in future non-economic losses, $4 million in past non-economic losses, and so on, $1.4 million in future earnings, and so on. It comes to almost $290 million total. Now, here's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s statement. This jury found Monsanto acted with malice and oppression because they knew what they were doing was wrong and doing it with reckless disregard for human life. I couldn't have said it better. I really like RFK Jr., by the way. This guy, he's like, compared to Ted Kennedy, who is a horribly dishonest Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is an amazing Kennedy. This guy restores my faith in the whole Kennedy family, by the way. And also, just as a side note, JFK was a very passionate person who, in his own way, tried to bring down the banking cartels and so on. Why do you think they killed JFK? Come on, people. Anyway, that's another topic. But Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is very impressive, a true American hero. I'm not surprised that he was part of this legal team that found Monsanto guilty. Now, according to KPIX News in San Francisco, Dwayne Johnson sprayed 150 gallons of Roundup 20 to 30 times a year. 150 gallons. And there were some malfunctions that caused him to be drenched in the herbicide. He called Monsanto's consumer hotline to ask what he should do, and the company never called him back, according to his testimony.